Them here's the little kid brother. I mean, it'd be awful if something happened to him while he was out on his bike delivering his papers, wouldn't it?
Who told you this?
Oh, I got contacts. Outside contacts. Who drive cars right at little boys on bikes. Now, I'd like to help keep your family healthy, but I reckon it's worth a few favours in return.
And Mrs. Morris, don't you try anything, please.
Mark!
All right, old bite. What do you want?
As much trouble for Anne Reynolds as you can stir up. And I mean real trouble.
You mean like, the odd riot or two?
Yeah, sounds good to me. The only thing you have to remember is to keep my name out of it. You do that, and you can do all the business you like. Deal?
Deal.
You'll be all right, just a bit of a lump.
Oh, I suppose I should be grateful my head's still on my shoulders.
Well, you shouldn't have tried to run away.
Oh, silly me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better.
Can I get you anything? A cup of tea or
Oh,
something?
yes, some coffee and some aspirin.
Hold this.
I didn't want to hurt you, Mrs. Morris.
Is that so? Well, what do you do when you want to hurt someone? Stop pointing that gun at me. You might sneeze and then you'll really have to start apologising.
Kettle's on. We can all have a cuppa and calm down. And just in case you've got any ideas of leaving us, we'll hang on to these. What else you got in here? Well, look at this. Save, save, save. 7,500. You lucky old thing.
It's called work, Tracy. Something you've never been interested in.
Now, wait a minute, lady. You're lucky. You've got a job. You can make that sort of money.
Don't worry about her. I think we're the lucky ones now.
What do you mean?
Well, now that we've got this.
That would be very foolish.
500 from the TAB isn't going to get us very far, is it?
I couldn't help that.
I know. But with this little book, it's going to be a lot easier than going around sticking a gun in someone's face. No risk at all.
Aren't you in enough trouble as it is?
I can't see how this is going to make any difference. It's pennies from heaven, Mark. We'd be fools not to take it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Just like that, eh?
Well, why not? I've had a gut full of being broke. 3 years of it.
Well, this is hardly going to remedy that.
Seems perfect to me.
I can't expect you to know what it's like going for every job on the book and being shown the door because you're a diabetic or
You don't have to explain to her.
Look, I know it's tough for people at the moment.
You're damn right it is.
But it can't stay like that forever.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Well, I'm not going to wait forever to find out. I'm fed up with talking, and I'm the one who's getting the doors slammed in my face.
Well, this is hardly the way.
Well, tell me another way, then. Go on.
Look, if you leave now, I promise I won't call the police. Just go, and I won't say anything.
We're not going anywhere. We need this money. Walking out of here isn't going to solve anything.
And this is?
7,500 can only help. I better make that coffee.
You think about what I said.
Anybody home?
Hi.
Oh. How's Nicky?
He hasn't moved all day.
Yeah, well, the vet said he'd be all right.
Yeah, but he's just lying there. He doesn't even wag his tail when I pet him or talk to him.
Oh, he just needs a bit more time to get well, that's all. You know, dogs are a bit like people. When they're sick, they just have to lie down for a while until they get their strength back.
Hope so.
Oh, he'll be all right. Don't worry. Anyway, there's something else we have to talk about.
What?
What we're going to do with you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you don't want to go home, right?
No. You're not going to try and make me?
No.
So what do you reckon?
Well, I just wanted to ask you. You know, Shane, there are places that... They're run by the state. They're boys' homes.
No. No, I'm not going there. I'm not going to be locked up with a lot of other kids. I'd rather be dead first. You're going to put me in one of them places,
I didn't say that.
You gonna make sure the cops put me in there?
Of course not. I just want to know how you feel.
Yeah. Well, it stinks.
All right. Fair enough.
So what do you reckon?
I don't know. Suppose you'll have to stay here.
Beauty.
Well, I reckon it's a great idea.
Yeah?
The annual Wentworth Fashion Parade.
Who's got anything to wear?
Are you kidding? We got basic blue far as the eye can see.
Look, we can make and design our own clothes. It'll be like one of those Paris fashion houses.
Oh, come on. Do you think that's easy?
Oh, we'll be right. And we can all model our own creations.
Yeah, well, you can count me out.
Oh, come on, Jude. You can model clothes for the mature figure.
Overripe, you mean?
You'll be modelling a wooden box keen if you don't watch out.
Ooh, tough.
This thought seems a bit silly to me.
Yeah, well, for once, I agree with you. Twiggy, I ain't.
You'll never know until you try.
Yeah, away with you, Warren.
Mr. C, what would you think if we had a fashion parade?
What?
A fashion show, don't you reckon it'd be great?
Well, sure, but
See, he doesn't think it'd be stupid.
I don't think I'm qualified to pass an opinion, really.
You can zip me up anytime you like, Mr. Crookshank.
You mean your mouth, of course, don't you, Carl? Well, I'll see you later.
All right, ladies, the floor show's over. Now, some of you might have already heard this, but Mari's Pharmacy's having a grand reopening this week. And I'm offering a special on top quality Coke, and that's just the beginning.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, really, Brian?
Really? When Myra comes back here, you won't be able to give that stuff away.
Oh, Desmond doesn't scare me, and you're just good for a laugh. So why don't you button your beak and face facts? What I say goes. All right, ladies. Who's for a snort?
You know, a few things are going to have to change around here if you're going to stay with me.
Like what?
Well, for a start, you're going to have to go to school.
I've been already. Didn't like it.
Well, that may be the case, but it is the law, Sonny Jim. Everyone has to go to school. Believe it or not, even I did.
And you liked it?
That's not the point. You want to make something of yourself, don't you? You want a good job when you grow up?
Suppose.
Right, first thing in the morning, school.
Oh, and I hate Mr. Brindley.
Who?
Mr. Brindley, the headmaster.
No. Well, you know, there's no reason why you have to go back to your old school. In fact, it's probably better if you start off at a new one.
As long as I can still play footy.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure of that.
Great.
And, I want you to do a few odd jobs around the house, too.
Eh?
Got to earn your pocket money.
Gee, I never had pocket money before.
I'm sure you'll get used to it.
I could buy myself a footy and a new collar for Nicky.
Yeah, if you save up.
Yeah. Oh, did I say thanks for the jeans and the shirt?
Yeah? Why?
Couldn't remember. Mum was always telling me to say thanks for the stuff. Wasn't really good at it. Used to forget.
No, you didn't forget.
So why do you reckon you're being so good to me?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose someone had to do it. Just happened to be me. Come on, eat up.
Look, maybe we should get out of here. She did say she wouldn't call the cops.
And you believed her?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, how can you be so naive? She's a prison officer, the next best thing to a cop.
She's your stepmother and she saved your life once.
That doesn't change a thing.
Well, I reckon she'd keep her word.
And I'm telling you she wouldn't. I know her better than you do. She'll do whatever she thinks is the right thing. She's as straight as they come. Anyway, there's no point in us leaving now. We don't have enough money without her savings. So what's better? $500 or $7,500? You don't have to be a mathematical genius to work out that one.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So just stay cool. Everything's going fine.
You reckon? Keeping her here against her will makes her a hostage.
She'll be okay if she behaves herself.
Well, I'm just worried how far we're going to have to go if she doesn't.
No point in worrying. We'll go as far as we have to.
You did up so early.
Oh, it was going to be a surprise.
What was?
Breakfast in bed.
Yeah, well, it's still a surprise. You know, I can't remember when that last happened. Thank you, Shane. Well, I might as well just sit here and have it now that I'm up, hey?
Toast got a bit burnt.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind it a bit crisp. Toast.
I used to make breakfast for Mum in bed. Give it to her on a tray. After Dad hit her and stuff.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, where's yours?
Already had some. I reckon there was room for more, though. You know, I've been thinking. About school. We don't want to rush things. Starting next week will be just as good as starting in the middle of the week now. Don't you reckon?
That wouldn't be the reason I was going to get breakfast in bed, would it?
Might have been.
It won't work, you know. You're going to school today, and that's that. But it was a nice try.
If that one poisoned her husband, I'm Jack the Ripper.
What I can't figure out is how can the jury think she did it when he doesn't? It's weird.
She doesn't even look like a poison, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. What's a poisoner look like, Warren?
But out of it, Keen. Nobody asked you.
Suppose if she had long fingernails and water on the end of her nose, she'd be a poisoner, right? God, you lot of gullible.
They thought Snow White was a true story.
Yeah, still believe in the tooth fairy girl.
Why don't you bugger off, Keen? Haven't you caused enough trouble
Get it,
lately?
Bobby?
Buggering up the fate with your drugs and brain and Phyllis. They'd lock you in the pound and chuck the key away forever.
All mouth and
Will
bitch.
you two leave it alone? You want to have the screws down on us? Hey, Keen. You think we're gullible? Now, I'd be careful about making friends with Mari Winter. You know what happened the last time you got involved in drugs. Accidents do happen.
Is that right?
That's right. Now, we may be stupid enough to believe in fairy tales, but I don't think we're stupid enough to think that Mari Winter is our fairy godmother.
Oh, that's side-splitting, Bryant. Listen, she knows what she's doing, and so do I. I'll stay out of our way, the lot of you.
Bye, Lou.
Get Nick.
We should have done that before, you know. We could have really enjoyed our breakfast.
What did you move for, Rebecca?
I just come over for a chat, Miss Rogers. Anything wrong with that?
Of course not.
You don't have any plans for tonight, do you?
Pardon?
Well, I hope you haven't forgotten our little chat about me needing a favour or two. Because like the song says, tonight's the night.
There. That'll do it. Can't pick the difference. Right. Well, I'll get going then, hey? You can babysit stepmama until I get back.
Well, won't they get suspicious when she doesn't turn up for work?
Of course they will. The whole thing's ridiculous.
No problem, Meg, dear. All you have to do is make a phone call and tell them you're sick and can't come in.
I will not.
Oh, yes, you will. And that's not all. You're going to ring the building society and tell them that you're coming into the city to close your account and that you want to withdraw the full amount in cash.
And if I don't?
Who's being ridiculous now? Let's call Wentworth, shall we? Mark gets very nervous holding that gun, don't you, Mark? Anything could happen, especially if he was pointing it at you. Show her, Mark. I'd start dialing if I was you.
Lose yourself, Warren. I want to talk with Fat Mama.
You got something you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to remind you that I haven't forgotten it was you put me in the pound.
Oh. Well, I haven't forgotten that you tried to pin that on Cass.
Yeah, well, you've also stuffed up my chances of getting parole.
Really? Why do you keep bitching about your parole? You lost all chance of your parole when you bashed Phyllis over the head. Or have you forgotten about Phyllis?
I was just trying to teach her a lesson.
I see. Is that how you're going to teach me a lesson? Bash me over the head?
Lay off.
Oh, no, I forgot. That's what you do to friends. You must have a real doozy plan for me.
Just shut it.
I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Why don't you go tell that to a friend, if you can find one?
It's all right, Kay. Shh, I'm here. Everything's all right, darling. Shh. What's that?
Oh, the cops. Oh, my God, what are we going to do?
Keep it quiet. I'll get rid of him.
Please.
What's the problem?
Who said there was any problem?
Oh, well, you blokes don't usually make social calls as a rule.
This all you?
Yeah.
You better do something about the tyres.
Oh, right. I've been meaning to do something about them for a long time, yeah.
You live here?
No, a mate of mine, Mike Meredith.
Didn't catch your name.
Me? Oh, Wally Wallace. I live a few miles down the road.
What you doing up here?
Well, you see, Mike and his wife are away, and he asked me to keep an eye on the place while they were overseas. You know, you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't believe me, I can give you his phone number in Canada. You can ring him up and sort of check on what I'm saying.
No, it's all right. We know about Mike.
Oh, you do? Well, how come the 20 questions?
Well, someone complained about hearing a ruckus. Thought it came from here.
Oh. I haven't heard anything while I've been around. What sort of a ruckus?
Screams.
Ah, screams. Wasn't it Mrs. Carter that rang you up, was it?
How'd you work that out?
She's a nice old biddy, but this is not the first time she thought she heard something, you know. She's got a very active imagination. Ask anybody around the place.
So you haven't heard a thing, then?
No, not... Oh, there were a couple of randy cats out the back of the bush here. Oh, yeah, probably that was. That's
yeah,
what it was.
all right. We'll let you get on with it, then.
All right, thanks.
Don't forget about those tyres.
Oh, no. Officer, first chance I get.
Please, Kay, please. No, Kay. Kay, please, get away from me. Get away from me! I'll kill you!
Oh, for God's sake, do something!
What are you worried about?
Who's worried?
It's the third time you looked at your watch in the last 10 minutes.
Shut up. Where are you going?
I just wondered whether I could have another cup of coffee.
What the hell did you do that for? Don't you know I can die without that? Oh, that was the idea, wasn't it? Well, let me tell you something, lady. Anyone doing any dying around here, it's going to be you. I mean it. One more smart stunt like that and you've had it.
Penny for them? Was there something bothering you?
No. Oh, just tired, I guess.
Well, you certainly don't get much time to relax around here, that's for sure. Oh, did you know that Meg phoned? Says she wasn't well, won't be in today.
Oh.
I hope she's okay. A nice lady.
Yeah. Did you read that article in the newspaper about the prison system?
No, I didn't. What was it about?
Well, I'm not sure how much of it was true, but they mentioned the prison officer and the sort of problems they have to put up with.
Hmm?
Well, they even mentioned officers being blackmailed.
Well, that can happen.
Wouldn't happen here, would it?
That can happen in any prison. Well, the best thing to do if anyone tries it is to put them firmly in their place. Well, you remember, I told you about Mari Winter having a go at me. And you've got to knock it on the head straight away.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone tries it on you, you can put them in their box with one of those fancy karate chops of yours. That was a joke, Max.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think that was very funny. I'm getting a bit sick of everyone laughing at me.
Hey, look, I'm not having... Oh, blast. Oh. Look, I'll talk to you later, OK?
can't wait to tell the others that Dad brought in the aerobics tape. What do you think of my dad? He's really nice.
Stop your babbling and get in there. Well, that's what I like to see. Everyone working. Keep it up.
Miss Ferguson?
Yes, Bryant. Well, Bryant, you don't appear to be working. I would suggest that you get on with it.
Bryant, I ought to put your head in the press trying a dumb thing like that.
Yeah, well, why bother? She can't do anything about it.
No, ain't it the truth?
Think you're pretty smart, don't you?
It's a fact, Mitchell. Now you get back to work, you heard, Miss Ferguson?
Hello, Harry, love.
Edna,
It's good to see you.
well, you didn't think I wouldn't come and see you, did you?
No. I just wish you didn't have to see me here.
So do I. The appeal's going to fix all that, don't you worry. We'll have you out of here in no time.
I hope so.
How are they treating you?
Oh, fine. Everyone's being very supportive. They know what injustice is all about. They're not so bad, really, thank God.
You'll be home again with me soon enough, I promise.
Good. I don't think I could bear it for too long without you.
I miss you too.
No physical contact, please.
Oh.
Sorry, that's the rule.
We're going to beat this thing, love. Don't even think about losing hope. We're going to make them see it's all a load of nonsense and that you shouldn't be here. Nothing surer. I love you, and you love me. And that's why we're going to win.
That was right, 8 o'clock. Right, bye. Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like a ticket to Sydney, please. The next available flight.
Return or one way?
One way.
First or economy?
First. Why not?
Oh, you're enjoying this, aren't you? You think you're really smart smashing my incident?
No, not smart. It just didn't leave me any choice.
No, sit down. Shut up, I don't need your advice.
At least put the gun down whilst you're doing that.
No, you don't. Get that idea out of your head. You're staying here till this thing's finished, one way or another. Now, sit down!
Tracy's taking your time. Building society's not that far away. I would have expected her back ages ago.
So, she got caught in the lunchtime rush.
Do you really expect her to come back? I mean, why would she now she's got the money?
Because it's not the money that's important. It's us, our future together. The money's just to get us started.
I've known Tracy a lot longer than you. Can't you see she's using you just as much as she is me? I mean, that's all she is. She's a user. All she's interested in is the money. She doesn't care what sort of trouble she's got you into. Mark, don't get in any deeper than you already are. I mean, she's just not worth it.
No. Tracy will be back. I know she will. And when she gets back, we'll be away, free. She won't let me down. So shut up. I've got a headache and I'm sick of listening to you talk.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know how you're going to get the freak down here to see it before one of the goodies spots it.
Don't you worry your spoilt little head about that. I've got it all organised. She ought to be coming round the passage any minute. Yeah, here she comes. Oh, don't just stand there, laugh a bit.
Gonna tell me what's so funny?
Oh, nothing, Miss Ferguson, nothing at all.
Who drew that?
Oh, well, it's nothing to do with us. We was just passing on our way to the rec room and, the old Marlene's a pretty good drawer, though, isn't she?
You telling me that Warren drew this?
Well, it's her bed, isn't it?
Well, Winter, unless you want to find yourself on a charge with Warren, get to the rec room.
Yeah, right, Miss Ferguson.
Not you, Keane. You've got a visitor.
Who is it?
You'll find out. Now, get a move on.
Oh, come on, Heather. As a favour to me.
It's not part of my job to go around chasing after leotards.
How about some shorts and T-shirts then?
Why'd you cut it out? What's wrong with the stuff your father brought in?
Well, nothing. There just probably isn't enough to go around, that's all.
Well, that's your problem.
Look, love, if you like, you can buy some of my stuff, okay?
Yeah, and I can probably dig up a few things myself.
Yeah.
Thanks. With the stuff we've already got, that'll probably be enough. But it isn't going to be like those shows on telly where they wear all that snappy gear.
You're not on television, you're in prison. Wake up to yourself.
Keane, don't be like that to your mother.
Rebecca, please. I have something to tell you.
I'm not interested.
Please, it's about your father. Rebecca!
What?
Your father's very sick.
So get him a doctor.
He has multiple sclerosis. He's not expected to live much longer.
Is that it? Can I go now?
He wants to come and see you. He would have come with me today, but I thought it'd be better if I talked to you about it first. He wants very much for the three of us to patch things up.
Oh, but that's funny.
No, it's not funny at all. If you saw how tormented he was, you'd understand why this is so important. What would it cost you just to talk to him? Tell me you'll at least think about it.
Yeah, well, what would it have cost him to talk to me when I really needed it? One mistake. And the two of you just wiped me off, didn't you? Well, that's something I'll never forget. And I'm not going to pretend anything else so that he can go to hell with a clear conscience. He wants forgiveness? Get him a priest. But leave me out of it. Can I go back now?
Leave it.
Might be something important. I mean, perhaps it's Tracy.
No. Tracy agreed if she needed to call for any reason, she'd let it ring once and dial again. So leave it. Right.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Meaning what?
Well, if it's not Tracy, it must be the prison. I mean, all my friends think I'm working. Now they'll be wondering what's happened to me, won't they?
So let them wonder.
Look at you. You're getting worse by the minute.
Yeah, thanks to you. I'll be all right when Tracy gets back.
Oh, for heaven's sake, wake up. She's not coming back.
Give her a chance, will you? She's only been gone a few minutes.
She's gone hours. You're losing track of time.
You're trying to confuse me.
I'm just trying to make you understand the position you're in. You're sick. You need to get to the hospital for treatment now if you'd only be sensible.
No way. After all the crud I've had dumped on me, I'm not topping it off by going to jail. And you better believe that, because if anything goes wrong, I've got my escape hatch right here. One bullet for you and one for me. Definitely one for you.
Honestly, Mrs. Reynolds, I've never seen it in my life before.
It was in your dormitory and you've never seen it before?
Well, someone must have put it there.
And why would they do that?
I don't know, maybe for a joke.
A joke? You regard this as funny?
It seems to me that all the jokes that have been going on since your arrival have been directly attributable to you. I can't go on giving you the benefit of the doubt, Warren. You have to learn that this sort of thing simply will not be tolerated.
But I didn't... Don't interrupt.
I did consider cancelling your aerobic sessions, but I've decided against that. There's no point in punishing the other women. So it'll have to be something else. I'm sorry, Marlene, but your mother phoned to arrange a visit. Well, I can't allow that now because I'm cancelling your visiting privileges for 2 weeks.
Oh, but I've got to see Mum real bad.
It's not as though you haven't been warned. I could put you in solitary, but I've chosen a punishment that'll really mean something to you. Perhaps now you'll remember how officers are to be treated. All right, you can go back to work.
Darling heart, I kid you not. The TV interview was a total smash. I had offers coming in from all directions.
Offers? What sort of offers?
Follow-up stuff. Magazine spread, newspaper feature. I've even got New York interested.
Oh, you must be out of your head, Roland. Don't you realize they only let the TV crew in here as a special concession and once, sir. They're not going to allow it again.
So, they can make some more special concessions. I'll just spread some charm and sunshine around in the right quarters. Don't worry, Pet. There won't be any problems.
There's a little problem right here, Pet. I am not interested in any follow-ups.
Hey, come on, sweets. Let's work on this thing together, huh? We both want the same thing, don't we? We want you out of this hen coop as quickly as possible. And we want you to come out an even hotter property than when you went in. Am I right?
Come on, Roland. Spit it out. Just what are you driving at?
Just this. You cooperate with me on the publicity, and I'll make sure the court finds you're not guilty.
Sure. How are you going to do that?
Well, I've thought about this. If I testify to the court that Howard was a sexual sadist and a ruthless exploiter of innocent young virgins, it'll change everything. The public will see you as the victim. You'll get stacks of sympathy and publicity. No court in the country will convict you.
You'd do that?
For you, I'm prepared to tell a little white lie or two.
It's not a lie. Everything you just said about Howard is absolutely true.
Whatever. The thing is to make the court believe it. And all I'm asking in return is just for a little cooperation.
I see. I get the picture. I'll think about it.
Fine. But don't take too long, Tricia. Because where you're concerned, my love, time is very definitely money.
Was this all I had? I thought I had more than this.
Where will you go?
I'm gonna go and... It's none of your business. I tell you one thing, though, I'm gonna go and find Tracy. And when I find her, I'm gonna kill her. She deserves it.
Why? I mean, she's not worth it. Hasn't she caused you enough trouble? You better leave that gun behind. You'll only make things more dangerous for yourself by taking it.
You're doing it again.
What?
You're trying to trick me. As soon as I'm out of that door, you'll phone the police. And you'll identify me to them. Well, you're not going to, because I'm going to kill you before I go.
I don't believe you're capable of killing anyone in cold blood. I mean, you're just not the type.
Don't tell me I'm not capable. All my bloody life, people have been telling me I'm not capable. I can show them what I really can do.
Why? I mean, what good will it do? I mean, in your condition, you couldn't even cross the street. All you're doing is turning a minor robbery into a murder. Well, if you really want to wreck your life, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Except my life's already a wreck. It's been a wreck since the day it started. And the best thing I can do is get out of it now.
Look, are you sure you didn't do the drawing yourself? You do have a dicey sense of humor.
No, I didn't. I promise.
I'll come off it. You got caught? Tough.
It's all right, Rabbit. We believe you. Now, come on, back up. We've got the aerobics class to run tonight, remember?
Oh, no, I can't. Not now.
But you did all the organising and you got us all looking forward to it, didn't she?
Yeah, you sure did.
No, you do it, Rach. You've done it before. Honestly, I'm just too down in the dumps.
Oh, what's the matter, Diddums? Didn't teach you like your nice drawing after you spent all that time on it. Looks like our little bunny's got a touch of the myxomatosis.
Well, it didn't take long to work out who set her up. Why don't you get off her back?
Suppose I should pick on someone my own size, eh? Do you want to volunteer, Brian? Keep your nose out of other people's business.
Wish Myra would come back.
What are you grizzling about? Getting out of here, aren't you? Want me to have a word with the screw to see if we can get you a couple more years?
Shut up, Keen. Just shut up and get out.
Come on. Lost your sense of humour?
Get out of here. It's all your fault. You and your bloody drug racket. If it wasn't for you, I'd still have my baby.
Yeah, well, there's no point in getting upset about it. It's over, isn't it?
It's nothing to you, is it? For the first time in my whole rotten bloody life, something good was going to happen for me, and you had to go and screw it up.
It's not as if I planned it. It was an accident.
Oh, an accident. Are you going to say the same thing to Phyllis if she ever gets out of hospital?
Hey, that's got nothing to do with it.
All I know is I was going to have a kid and I was going to love it and look after it. It's going to give it a better chance in life than I ever had. Thanks to you, it might as well never have existed.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I'm sorry. It's a bit late for that now, isn't it?
Oh, well. If it isn't the new water. Haven't seen you around much this afternoon. Wouldn't be trying to avoid me, would you?
Come on, Winter. I'm not standing around talking to you.
That's not very nice, is it? Here's me hoping we was going to run into each other, and here we are.
I haven't got time for this. I'm in a hurry.
Sweetheart, the whole world's in a hurry. And either you keep up or you get trampled in the crowd, know what I mean? So let's talk business, eh? Tonight's the night.
What?
Don't say what, it's rude. You know perfectly well what I mean. You've got to pick up a little bit of merchandise for me.
You can forget it. I'm not doing anything for you.
Oh, listen to little goody two-shoes. Scared of straying off the straight and narrow in case she gets into trouble.
That's not the reason.
You don't know what trouble is, Rogers, yet. But you will, if you don't do as you're told.
I'm not scared of you.
Oh, yes, you are. You're bloody terrified. And with good reason. If you're so set against going through with our little arrangement, how come you haven't told one of the other screws about it?
Who says I haven't?
I do. Because if you had, I'd be the first to hear about it. You haven't opened your mouth because you're scared about what's going to happen to your family if you do. And that's why you're going to make this little pickup for me. From now on, you're going to do whatever I say, whenever and wherever, or you're going to be very, very sorry. Now, do we understand each other?
God, what a mess. No wonder she didn't answer the phone.
Yes, it seemed strange at the time. Poor Meg. Thank God she can look after herself.
Well, I suppose she's all right.
Well, she sounded pretty shaken when she phoned to tell me, but she said she's okay. I'll call in on the way home and see how she is.
What about the two who are holding her?
Well, the boy's in hospital, and apparently he's not in a serious condition. And the police are still looking for the girl, but they don't seem to think they'll have much trouble finding her.
Well, if you ask me, Mrs. Morris brings these things on herself, associating with people like that. I mean, what does she expect?
The girl is her stepdaughter, and she seemed to be in trouble. What would you have done? At any rate, Meg handled the situation very well, and I intend to make sure the department knows about it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Well, no one can say things are dull around here. Hello. They got me rostered on extra nights next week. I was expecting my workload to be a bit lighter after all the heavy shifts I put in lately.
Actually, I asked Mrs. Morris if she'd change some of my shifts with yours. I told her you wouldn't mind.
Oh, I see.
Well, I've got some relatives coming from interstate. I can't very well leave them on their own. You don't mind, do you?
Well, I haven't got much choice, have I?
Hi, is she coming? No, she's too upset about not seeing her mother. Looks like one of us is going to have to take charge now.
Yeah, we're going to have a riot on our hands.
Yeah, sure. What about you, Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh, I could, I suppose. What about music?
Marlene gave me this.
Jeez, don't they look a bloody joke?
Yeah, right. Well, don't laugh too hard. Just keep your mind on what you've got to do, right?
Hey, why haven't you started?
Oh,
Where's Warren?
She's sick, Miss Ferguson. Rachel thought she'd take over.
Okay, get started.
Oh, okay, everyone, into position. Stretch out your arms, make sure they're not touching.
Right. Well, come on, you lot, get started. We want to see us all jumping round.
Well, they're not going to jump, are they? The floor will cave in.
You rack off. Who are you telling to rack off? We've got as much right to be here as you have. Anyhow, we're going to stay and watch us all.
No, you're not. You're going to be disruptive. You get out.
Oh?
Get out.
That's not fair. We was looking forward to the show.
Never mind, Ma. We'll hear it when the floor caves in.
Get out. Right, come on, get moving. And no funny business.
Right. Well, the main thing about aerobics is it's supposed to get your pulse rate going. So once you start moving, you're not supposed to... Hang on, Lee. I'm not ready for the music yet. Sorry. Once you start moving, you don't stop till we've been through all the moves. Now, we'll go through them all very slowly.
What do you want?
What makes you think we want anything? We might have just dropped by to see if you was feeling better. I mean, it must have been real crook when Mummy Bunny wasn't allowed to come and visit Baby Bunny. Time we did some more drawing, isn't it? I mean, the place could do with a bit of brightening up.
It was you, wasn't it?
Was me what?
Put that drawing on my wall and got me into all that trouble. What'd you want to do that for?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anybody know what she's talking about?
No.
See, you got it all confused. It wasn't me. Otherwise, I'd be the one who's in trouble. And I'm not. You are, though. Real trouble.
Well, I haven't done anything.
Haven't done anything? But you must have. Unless, of course, you think someone's made a mistake. I hope you don't, because the governor would never make a mistake like that, would she, girls?
No way.
But I didn't do it.
Shut up. And Warren, I picked you the moment you walked into this place. You are a troublemaker. You play dangerous jokes. You make fun of your betters, and worst of all, you interfere in prison affairs.
I won't do it anymore, I promise.
No, you won't. Not after they've finished with you. They're going to teach you a little lesson, one you won't forget in a hurry. I understand you don't like pain.
Oh, no, please, don't hurt me. I'll scream. I'll call one of the other officers.
That would be extremely stupid, Warren. It would be only your word against mine. Now, you listen to me, Warren. There are big things that you have to learn about how things are run in this place. Now, I call the shots, right? No one else. Just make sure you remember that in future. She's all yours. Something bothering you?
No. No, I'm just watching out.
Yeah, you do that. Winter, make sure you clean the mess up, eh?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare.